Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans 1977. It's Tuesday night, and you know what that means. It is time for the NXT Event Center Wrestling Report featuring the superstars of the future in the WWE. And it's on the CW network every Tuesday night at 8. And here's the man that will bring you the report from the show itself. He is Mr. Shenanigans himself, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans in 1977, episode 2007. The year the Red Sox won another World Series and another 4-game sweep over the unexpected and National League champ at the time, the Colorado Rockies. In what was their first World Series for the Colorado Rockies. But in the end, the Red Sox ended up sweeping them behind the great pitching of guys like John Lester, Josh Beckett, Daisuke Matsuzaka, and the bullpen abilities of guys like Hideki Okajima and Jonathan Papelbon. And then you got help from David Ortiz and rookie upstarts like the eventual rookie of the year in Dustin Pedroia and another rookie in Jacoby Ellsbury. And guys like Mike Lowell, Jason Veritek, and even Bobby Kielty joined in on the fun. Also, Manny Ramirez was there as well, launching a game-winning home run against the Angels at that time. And it's unbelievable how the late great Julio Lugo at shortstop and Kevin Youkilis playing first base. But all in all, it was a great World Series for the Red Sox. 2007, man, And I turned 30 that year. That's right, I turned 30 that year. And it was a great memory for me because I also had my, when I was working as a dishwasher Ruby Tuesday at the time, I, had my, the dish pit that I worked at was decorated, celebrating my birthday, and I still have that poster of everybody signing my birthday. It was really cool, and still never forget it to this day. So, hey, it's a lot of fun. All right, let's talk about what happened on NXT. Excuse me, I'm going to put this pen away because there has been a lot going on NXT, and this I'm going to call the Royal Rumble Fallout Part 2 because of the fact that so many NXT ladies have made it in the Royal Rumble. The women's champ, Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, Lash Legend, Jada Parker, and it was, this is a very eventful NXT, as you know. Vengeance Day is a week from this Saturday, as they, a lot of matches are happening. Most of the women's division has been well stacked up in NXT to the point where I'll tell you one thing right now. I think the women's division in the WWE is going to be okay because some of these ladies will come up to the main roster, and I'm telling you, with the women's Intercontinental and the women's United States title now, I think everybody's going to be okay, and a lot will be going on. Well, Stephanie Vaquer took on JC Jane one-on-one to have Miss Fallon Henley scout Vaquer, and Stephanie Vaquer did end up picking up a victory in that matchup, but Jasmine Nix got involved during the matchup, but it didn't work out in JC Jane's favor. And then you got the Meta Girls, Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend, and also Zarya and Toruka all talking smack that was going on. Tana Paxley, Shotzi, and Gigi don't interrupt both teams and made some suggestions that we'll see you out there. So, Sarah Striver interviewed Obafemi. He says, you know what? I'll see him out there. I'll see Trick out there and talk to him. But I'm going to show everyone I am the ruler. Then Lexis King, the NXT Heritage Cup champion, addressing the Orlando crowd, talking about how he is his father's son. And he says he has to be that. And he says that from now on, there'll be no British rounds rules for the NXT Heritage Cup. It's going to be one fall, winner take all. But he was interrupted by an unexpected surprise. Da 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 da. That's right. Fandango returned to NXT, but he's going out by JDC of TNA, and well, we didn't expect it to happen. I was like, what the heck? Oh no! It was really cool to see Johnny Curtis, aka Johnny Dango Curtis, Dirty Dango, Fandango, whatever the heck you want to call him. He's back in NXT, and he said, hey, I'm representing TNA. I'm challenging you for the Heritage Cup next week, and that match is going down. So I'll tell you what, that, to see him again, that was really cool. He said even that music meant the world to him. So he thanked everybody. So it was really cool seeing that, giving a special welcome. We didn't expect it. And Vic Joseph, I haven't seen you this move. I haven't seen a move like this since your wedding reception. And the music just overcomes me. It was so funny. Anyways. So that was great. D'Angelo family was talking about Rich Holland. In fact, they were talking about Tony D'Angelo's appearance in the new CW show called Wild Cards. And he plays a criminal in this one. Very interesting to see how this goes down. And then they started talking about Rich Holland. So Tanning Stacks Lorenzo, took on Rich Holland. And during the match, Sean Spears, Nico Vance, and Brooks Jensen were watching off the balcony. And Izzy Dame got involved, but despite that, Rich Holland ended up winning the matchup. And Josh Bridges and Yoshiki Inamura were talking to Fraction. He said, you know what? And they said, hey, we want to shot those belts, but we're going to prove ourselves. And so I said, you know what? Why don't you challenge the team, and we'll maybe then we'll probably talk. And then all of a sudden they both look at each other. I got this, and they both went their separate ways. Don't know what's up. So, and another matchup, Zarya and Sol Ruka, a very unique team, went up against Tatum Paxley and my favorite redhead of NXT. We're talking about the lovely, the gorgeous Gigi Dolan. And they had a tag matchup, and Zarya and Sol Ruka picked up the victory over Paxley and the lovely Gigi Dolan. And then Sarah Schreiber interviewed Trick Williams. She said, I should be in, Trick Williams said, I want to prove that I belong in that matchup. And I want to kick both of their butts in, and tell Obafemi, your receipt's coming. But then you got the Championship Summit. It started out with Roxanne Perez and Bayley. Started trash talking. Roxanne Perez bragging about the longest time in Royal Rumble history. And she says she's the Iron Woman in NXT, but she's going to get her title back. Bayley says, even if I don't win the NXT title, I'm going to be okay. So like that, you have a plan B, and that's the Elimination Chamber. And then when Julia comes out, he says, enough. I'm going to kick your butt. And then he says, now I'm going to beat you too. Looking at Bayley. But then the Royal Rumble winner, Charlotte Flair, comes out and gave props to Roxanne Perez. But Charlotte Flair goes, I'm better. Gave props to Julia. Says, I'm better. And she knows Bayley very well. And she says, I'm better. And you know what? It's going to be a very interesting situation. Once again, you got, 3 titles to choose from for Charlotte Flair. The last time I won the Royal Rumble, I picked the NXT title, and I won it. Like I said, a Royal Rumble match, a matchup between Charlotte Flair and Julia would not be a bad match. A match between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair would not be a bad match. And then you got Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton would not be a bad match either. Charlotte can have the opportunity to put either Julia or Tiffany Stratton over, or try to complete the trilogy of with Rhea Ripley. We don't know what that's going to bring. It'll be very interesting indeed. And then after that championship summit, Cora Jade attacks Bayley and Julia with a kendo stick, and she tried to take out Roxanne Perez after what Roxanne Perez said about having no friends, and then Perez did escape. So that'll be an interesting situation. And Cora Jade ended up holding the NXT Women's Championship. Ava was confronting Ethan Page and Javon Evans. He goes, "If you're medically Javon Evans, you're medically cleared, I'll get you the match against Ethan Page at Vengeance Day." So that could be something. Josh Briggs talks to Hank Walker and Tank Ledger about challenging to a tag match with Yoshiki Inamura. And Hank Tank says, "Got your match. Okay, then. I'll see you there." And then Rich Hollins confronts the D'Angelo family and Izzy Dame. Meanwhile, Sean Spears and his two goons, Brooks Jensen and Nico Vance, were stalking the whole situation. And then there was a challenge for the North American title, this time in a steel cage match next week. Carmen Petrovic went one-on-one with Kaylani Jordan, and that made Jada Parker appear at ringside during the matchup. And Jada Parker joins on commentary, but wasn't talking much because she said that Vic Joseph is a snitch. He's a married man, too. Stay away from him. Anyways, in the end, Kaylani Jordan normally won the match by submission, but Jordan's attack on Petrovic with a submission hold after the matchup forced the referees to reverse their decision, and Carmen Petrovic won the matchup by disqualification. Stephanie Vaquer addresses her goal of becoming the Women's North American Champion as Lola Vice walks by her. Interesting situation there. Meanwhile, Bayley confronts Ava and says she wants Cora Jade, but Ava says, "You know what? I'll make the match, but you have a qualifying match for Elimination Chamber and all that." I think Bayley will be so occupied with Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade, I don't think Bayley will qualify next week. But we'll find out for sure if that's the case. Then you got Josh Briggs and Inamura asking, Ava was talking to Fraxium. Briggs and Inamura asks for a matchup. Briggs says he asked with Hank and Tank, and Yoshiki Inamura asked for the No Quarter Catch crew. And he said, "Well, the tag team, you guys got to communicate, but I can make it an easy fix, triple threat match." And both men nodded in agreement. Okay, we're good. So that matchup could triple threat match could decide who can be next contenders for Fraxium's tag team titles. Then Sarah Schreiber interviewed A-Town Down Under before that matchup. Oba Femi and Trick Williams went up against A-Town Down Under. And then during the matchup, Eddie Thorpe hits Williams with a strap. And it cost Femi and Williams the matchup as A-Town Down Under picks up the victory. And then Eddie Thorpe continues to attack Williams after the match until the referees came in the ring. And then you got that promo with that tone beep and all that. After it says Vengeance Day, and it shows the silhouettes of four men. Who are these four men? Does Ava know anything about them? I tweeted the pic out to her, and it'll be very interesting to see what happens on Vengeance Day. Will we see a new stable being formed? In fact, who are these new members of this stable? We'll find out at NXT Vengeance Day. So, that is it for episode 2007 of Eric Lima's Shenanigans 1977. As we're going to be heading into halfway through the week tomorrow, we got a little Joker's Wild and AEW Dynamite as we're getting closer to Grand Slam Australia. Thank you for tuning in to the show, and until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. Oh, by the way, before we conclude the video, I do have a little report for NXT. Duke Hudson has been released by the WWE. And it seems like to me, if Chase U does reform somewhat, it'll be without Duke Hudson. So, best of luck to him in his endeavors. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up on either TNA or AEW. Who knows where Duke Hudson will end up. So, a.k.a. Brendan Vink. So, we shall see. We just shall see. You saw the success of his fellow Aussies, Rhea Ripley, Bronson Reed, then you got Grayson Waller doing the thing. You got over in AEW Tony Storm and Harley Cameron, Kyle Fletcher even. So it'll be very interesting to see where the man formerly known as Duke Hudson will go next. So again, that concludes our episode for today. Mr. Announcer, please take us home until the next episode uploads. Good night, everybody. That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, do it for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with A Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.